It was just past midnight when Jake decided to take the back roads home. The highway was clogged with traffic, and he had been driving for hours on end, the exhaustion gnawing at him. His car headlights cut through the thick fog, illuminating nothing but endless stretches of dark trees and empty asphalt. The radio was off. He needed silence. Sleep would come eventually, he told himself, but for now, he had to keep going. A few miles down the road, he noticed something odd in the rearview mirror. At first, he thought it was another car, its headlights glowing faintly behind him. But as he glanced again, the light didn't move. It stayed perfectly in line with his vehicle. No engine hum, no tires on the wet asphalt, just a pale, flickering light, like moonlight trapped in the shape of a figure. Jake shook his head, trying to dismiss it. Fog could play tricks, he told himself. His hands tightened on the steering wheel as he accelerated, eager to leave the strange light behind. Yet no matter how fast he drove, the figure remained. It stayed at a distance, matching his every turn, its presence unnervingly consistent. Minutes passed, or was it hours? Time seemed to bend in the fog. Jake's nerves were on edge. Finally, he risked a glance through the rearview mirror, focusing on the shape behind him. It wasn't just a light anymore. It was a woman, pale, soaked as if standing in the rain, hair plastered to her face, eyes hollow and empty. She was standing, or hovering, on the center line of the road, directly behind him. Panic gripped him. He swerved, taking a sharp turn onto a side road. The trees on either side loomed like dark sentinels, branches scraping the roof of his car. He dared another glance at the mirror. She was there, always there, just inches from the back of his car, her face pressed with a sorrow so deep it chilled him to the bone. Jake's heart pounded. "This isn't real," he whispered, voice shaking. He tried to call his brother, anyone, but the phone screen stayed dark. No signal. The engine's hum seemed to echo louder than usual, and the fog pressed against the windows like hands. He could feel her presence, not just behind him, but in the car, pressing against him. He sped up, taking the next turn onto a long, deserted bridge. The water below reflected the fog and the dim glow of his headlights. That's when he saw it clearly, her face. Eyes empty, lips pressed together as if holding back a scream. Her hair moved in a breeze that didn't exist. Her gaze was fixed on him, and he realized she wasn't just following, she was mourning. Jake's instinct screamed at him to stop, to leave the road, to escape. But where could he go? Every turn, every road seemed endless. The rearview mirror became a window to something impossible. He could see the faint outline of her body, drifting closer with every mile, her sorrowful expression growing more desperate. Finally, he reached the end of the bridge and slammed on the brakes. The car skidded on the wet asphalt. He leaned back, breathing hard, eyes wide, expecting her to vanish. But she didn't. The rearview mirror reflected only darkness, and then, just for a heartbeat, he saw her face again, pressed close to the glass from inside the car. Her eyes, empty, hollow, staring directly at him. The engine coughed, the headlights flickered. And then she was gone. Jake's body trembled as he reached for his phone. Signal, messages, everything normal. The silence outside was deafening. He laughed nervously, trying to convince himself it had all been exhaustion, fog, the strain of a long drive. Maybe a trick of the light, a reflection of the moon. But his gut told him otherwise. When he finally made it back to the main road, the fog began to lift. The highway lights bathed the road in artificial brightness, and Jake felt relief. Until he glanced at the rearview mirror one last time. There she was, sitting in the back seat, pale and wet, her hair plastered to her face, staring at him with empty eyes. Jake slammed the brakes. Heart hammering, he dared to look behind him. Nothing. The back seat was empty. The chill in the air lingered, seeping into his bones. He drove the remaining miles home in silence, never daring to glance at the mirror again. Even after weeks passed, Jake couldn't forget the feeling of eyes on him, the sorrow that radiated from a presence that shouldn't exist. And sometimes, late at night, when he drove alone, he swore he could see her, just a fleeting glimpse in the rearview mirror. Always mourning, always waiting, always following.